everybody, and welcome to episode 1 of Doubting Thomas, as I take England to the World Cup in Canada, Mexico and America. It will be 60 years this year since England last won this competition, and hopefully I am the man to deliver it to you. We will find out in due course. We're going to meet the squad shortly, but there are a few players that have missed out through injury, sadly for them. And they don't get much bigger than John Stones missing out on the World Cup. Now, I'm not sure on your viewpoint of this. Let me know in the comments, but my viewpoint is if a player is injured going into the tournament, then he probably shouldn't be selected in your squad. Obviously, we've had David Beckham in the past travel when he's been injured. Admittedly, that worked out a little bit better than it did for the other two I'm about to mention. Michael Owen, happened to him as well. Wayne Rooney in Portugal, I think it was, when he didn't play for the first couple of games that we really started to tell later in the tournament when we were knocked out. So yeah, I'm not taking John Stones on that basis. Admittedly, Callum Wilson probably wouldn't have been in the final 26, but he did make the 55 that I whittled down to 26, but a sprained ankle ligament sees his World Cup dream end. Phil Foden is another player that misses out agonisingly for him. Another sprained ankle ligament as well. 4 weeks he will be missing. So yeah, he was never going to make it. Injured in the Champions League final against Real Madrid for Manchester City. And then the last player to mention is Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He has a torn calf muscle, out for up to 2 months. He was never going to make it, unfortunately for him. So yeah, we go without these 4 to the tournament. But we do go with Jordan Pickford. Obviously, you have to take Jordan Pickford, whether he is going to start, back up or whatever. At 32, he is England's best goalkeeper, in my opinion, at least. Played the full season for Everton, 10 clean sheets along the way. And yeah, Jordan Pickford was always going to be on the plane. And he will be backed up by Dean Henderson of Crystal Palace. He played 37 times in the Premier League, 15 Conference League appearances as well, 55 overall, 19 clean sheets for the second choice England goalkeeper. And they are joined by Nick Pope as the number 3, although he might well be the number 2, he might well be the number 1. Who knows come tournament time. Played the full season with Newcastle, 38 games, 9 clean sheets, had a decent season for the Magpies. Moving into defence, now John Stones' omission from the squad left a space for Harry Maguire. Admittedly, he's only played 8 times for Manchester United this season, but his experience alone will be very, very useful indeed. Obviously, he has been there, seen it and done it at international level. Although he might not start every game, he may well come off the bench and have an impact. Next person to talk about is Omri Konsa of Aston Villa. Had near enough a full season with them, 54 appearances in total. Average rating of 6.98, which over 54 games is actually very, very good. Can play at right back, will predominantly play centre back. Will he start? Not sure just yet. Because he has competition in that position from Manchester City's Mark Guehi, 25-year-old, 30 caps for England, had an average rating of 6.92 through the season, 28 appearances for Manchester City in all comps, and yeah, will probably start for England. As Jarrad Braithwaite is another player that has made his way into the 26-man squad. Again, had a very positive season with Everton, 39 appearances in total, average rating of 7.05, and yeah, a solid centre-half, can play with either foot as well, which makes him ideal. Luke Shaw has also made his way into the final 26, 35 appearances for Manchester United, 6.95 average rating, obviously scored that goal in the Euro 2020 final against Italy. So yeah, we'll be looking for more from Mr. Shaw. As Reece James from Chelsea also finds his way in to the 26-man squad. 49 appearances for Chelsea throughout the season. A 7.03 average. Can play midfield, can play at right back, can play at centre half. His versatility alone is a reason to take him to a tournament. As Trent Alexander-Arnold finds his way into the England setup and the 26 that are going across the pond. Now, he had 12 starts for Real Madrid, 28 appearances in total. 6.89 his average rating. Again, a player that has been at a few tournaments now. You can't leave them all at home. So, yeah, Trent is coming. As is Tino Livramento of Newcastle United. Had a solid season, 15 starts, 20 appearances from the bench, 7.02 average rating for him as well. Another one that can play left and right back, so there is versatility within this 26. And another player that will hope to impress. As will Miles Lewis-Skelly of Arsenal. Made 9 starts for Arsenal, 30 appearances from the bench, 6.77 average rating, 19 here to get experience. Obviously, we did it with Theo Walcott years ago when it was a 23-man squad. Now we've got 3 extra players, and Miles Lewis-Skelly falls into his category, definitely. As does Nico O'Reilly. Now, in-game, this was like, why have you taken him? Why have I taken Nico O'Reilly? Because he can play anywhere on the pitch. And I really like him as a footballer in real life. I think he has a very bright future in the game. Played 11 starts, 36 sub-appearances for Manchester City, so had a decent amount of game time. Average rating, not great, at 6.58, but when you make that many sub-appearances, I mean, he scored 3 goals and assisted twice for Manchester City. Limited game time as well. So, yeah, it's one of those players that can have an impact off the bench. He is joined by a pick, and he had to be picked, Declan Rice. If he is fit, he plays for England. That is the way it is. 7.12 average rating, 52 games played, 5 goals, 7 assists. Declan Rice will be in the heart of the midfield. We all knew this was coming. Adam Wharton of Crystal Palace has also made the squad. Another player that's played a lot of football this season. 53 appearances for Crystal Palace in Europe and at home. 7.08 average across all of it. Another one that deserves to be on the plane. As too does Elliot Anderson. 46 appearances in total for him. 6.9 average rating. Another young player with plenty of talent and some legs in midfield. I mean, the stamina alone will mean he will probably start most games. A player that was omitted by Thomas Tuchel, Jared Bowen, has made the squad. Now, in-game, West Ham survived the drop. I will say that. Unfortunately, in real life, they did not. He scored 10 times for them in 40 appearances, played every minute of the Premier League season. 7.25 average rating. He had to go on the plane. As did Anthony Gordon. 54 appearances. 15 goals for him. So we've got plenty of options in the wide areas. A 7.09 rating for him across that 54 appearances as well. Yeah, Anthony, again, another player that had to be on the plane. And now possibly the most contentious pick I have gone with. James Maddison is on the plane across the pond. Now, obviously, in real life, he has been injured all season. Came back for the final few games, played sporadic minutes for Tottenham, but he has played 44 games in this version of Football Manager. So, yeah, he is on the plane and probably won't start, but will definitely have an impact from the bench. As my star boy is also on the plane, and that is Jude Bellingham. Had a very decent season with Real Madrid. 56 appearances, 12 goals, 7 assists. Although the average rating is only 6.61, which surprises me, given how many goals he scored across the Champions League and La Liga. But he's definitely on the plane, without question. As too is Cole Palmer. Now, I know he was left out by Thomas Tuchel, and everyone is wondering why. Me too. 48 appearances for Chelsea in game, 16 goals, 7 assists, 7.13 average rating. As I've mentioned with Anthony Gordon, we have an abundance of wide players. It is going to be very hard to pick a starting 11 for the game against Croatia, and that's a good problem to have. Because we have Bukayo Saka in the squad as well. 50 games for Arsenal this season, 28 goals he scored. If he did that in the Arsenal team in real life, they'd have won the title at a canter. 7.6 average rating. Had to be on the plane. Star player. Couldn't have left him at home. Is basically what that national report says. And I agree. Now, we are on to a player that I was umming and ahhing. It was between him and Dominic Solanke. Not going to lie, but Ivan Toney was picked basically because he has scored a lot more goals in the season. 20 goals overall in the Saudi Pro League. And I know what you're going to say. The Saudi Pro League, it is a farmers' league. But Ivan Toney knows where the goal is. I had my doubts when I saw him picked in the proper England squad. But when you think about it, if we get to a penalty shootout, he will definitely take a penalty. Without question. If we need to change the game, if we need a target man on the pitch, Ivan Toney is your man. And he is backed up by Aston Villa's Ollie Watkins. Again, another player that scored plenty of goals this season. 25 goals in 54 appearances for Aston Villa at home and in Europe. 7 is the average rating. Again, we know who's going to start up front for England, don't we? I mean, he's not been mentioned yet, but he'll be here in a second. And Ollie is a capable backup, as he's proved many times for England in the past. He is joined by his Aston Villa teammate Morgan Rogers. 52 appearances, 11 goals for him. 7 is the average rating overall. And another player that will add to our quality in the wide areas. As I've mentioned already, it is going to be a tricky task to pick a starting 11. And last but not least, we go with the skipper, Harry Kane of Bayern Munich. 50 appearances, 28 goals, 11 assists, 7.33 average rating. 32 now. Will probably be his last World Cup as a starter for England anyway. We will see what the future holds. But yeah, he will definitely want to get his hands on the Jules Rimet trophy come mid-July. So, if we look at the squad on caps, I mean, we've got hundreds of them. And Harry Kane's got 114 on his own. So, yeah, fantastic, really. The only uncapped player is Nico O'Reilly at full level. Yeah, so I'm not worried about that. Are you? I'm really not, because I like Nico O'Reilly, as mentioned earlier. So, we've got a lot of clubs mentioned as well. So how many have we got in total? So Bayern Munich, Everton, Arsenal, Manchester United, Real Madrid, Manchester City, Chelsea, West Ham, Aston Villa, Newcastle, Crystal Palace, Tottenham, Al Ittihad and Nottingham Forest. So there is a wide variety of clubs going to the World Cup for England. And I'm just going through the national teams just to make sure that everybody is here for the party in the summer. Lionel Messi at 38 has made the Argentina squad, as has Cristiano Ronaldo made it with Portugal. Don't worry, he is not retiring at the end of the World Cup. He is retiring at the end of 2027 when his contract expires. But there is no place in Brazil's squad for Neymar. Wow, I didn't think he'd miss out, but he has. Crikey. I mean, he's 34, but still, you take him just for the skill factor alone, right? Oh, poor Luka Modric is going to miss the World Cup through injury. That is a pity. At 40 years old, his last tournament will not be this one. And the bookies make France the favourites to win the World Cup at 10-3. 11-2 for Spain. 10-1 for Argentina, 13-1 for Portugal, and 9-2 for England to go all the way. So we've got 2 friendlies to take on against Colombia and Morocco before we come back for England's opening group match of the World Cup in Dallas against Croatia. A tricky customer in the past Will they be tricky this time around? Find out next time. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you've enjoyed it, please leave a like on it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.